Good morning. It is August the 30th, coming to the end of a long, dry month. We have had extremely warm temperatures and no rain for about 4 weeks. You can imagine what the garden looks like. But this morning I've been out here getting some beds ready for fall planting, planting some broccoli and cabbage. Just preparing for the next stage of the garden. But while I'm sitting here, I'm looking out over things, and some of it looks pitiful. We've got a lot of brown where it should be green. But I have one plant in front of me, a lantana. It's about 4 feet tall, covered in blossoms and hummingbirds and butterflies. And it's amazing to look at that plant knowing that it has had very little water as well, but it is thriving. It is really amazing to see. And right next to it is sweet potato vines, and they are everywhere, but they're starting to get wilted from lack of rain. So I'm going to have to add a little water to those today. But the topic that I wanted to discuss with you is the change of seasons. Here in Alabama, we move on into September knowing that it's not really going to get that much cooler. We don't really start getting cool temperatures till October. And so I know many of you, though, September marks the time for sweaters and jackets and things like that. But as we enter September, it does get us to thinking about the change that's coming. Just like seasons in the weather and the climate, our garden goes through a change of seasons, but we do too. As human beings, we face different seasons of our life, and I just want to spend a few minutes sharing with you what I believe to be an important mindset as you face those season changes. I'm changing into a new season in my life. I have begun to realize that even though I still have 2 children living at home, my child rearing years are over. And that's an amazing thing to say. I mean, I feel like I've been having babies and raising babies forever. And I guess it was about 3 years ago, Olivia graduated school. We homeschooled all of our kiddos. And she graduated. Now she just turned 20 this past week. And she, works a full-time job and drives a truck and takes care of her responsibilities. And then we've got children that are parents. We have children that are about to be parents. And that part of my life has shifted. And now I'm enjoying the time of being a grandmother and being a parent of adult children. And it's really an amazing change. And Paul says that I've finally retired in my schooling years, but I don't feel like I've retired. There's still a lot of work to be done, but I get to kind of relax about it a little bit, I guess. One of the things that we have to do here in our garden as we prepare for the change of season is we have to pull out the old stuff. We have to pull up the corn stalks and pull out the pea vines and take down the trellises and the things like that. It's important for the garden that we remove all of the debris of the growing season, because that debris is what acts as a haven for disease and pests. If you leave corn stalks or okra stalks or even the the trellises for the tomatoes and things like that, if you leave that piled up in the garden, all those little bugs will climb down in there and winter. And moisture in the soil and all will help breed disease in the soil. So we have to clear all of that old out and get rid of it. And really we pile it up into a burn pile and set fire to it, because we don't want to harbor any of that. And I was thinking this morning as I was pondering pulling up some of the bean stalks today, how we have to do that in our own lives as well. If we hold on to the things of the past and allow them to become a source of distress, if they occupy space in our heart and in our mind, they harbor disease. They harbor disease of the heart, and your emotions and your mind become entangled, and you can't move on. You might try. You might make an effort at moving on into a new season of your life, but really you're just drawing baggage with you. And as I pull up sections of the corn, I go through there and I pull it all out. Paul and I pull it all out. Then we go back and we rake it and rake out everything that we can get to. Then we till it up again. And once we till it up again, then we go to the barn, and Paul uses his new tractor and brings up barn cleanings, the manure and all of that, and we incorporate that into the soil and get it ready for the new season. And we do a lot of that in the fall, and then we let it rest for the winter. So when spring comes and we're ready to plant again, that soil has had time to rebuild its strength and its nutrients. And I think that's an important point for our lives as well. Our modern society rushes into the next big thing. It's like there's no rest time in between. There's no calm that takes place from one point to another. And I just want to encourage you to take that time, enjoy each season, grow, learn, allow the Lord to reveal Himself to you in each stage of your life. And when you are moving from one to another, whether it's, like in my situation, like growing, well, I shouldn't say growing, like raising children. I think about growing corn, but we don't grow children, we raise them. Moving from child raising years into the grandparent years, and the differences that come with that, we need to not hold on to the past. Don't allow that to consume your thoughts and take your energy and steal your joy even. Move on with joy. Allow each season of your life to be a blessing. Don't begrudge the work of it. Every season has its own work. And folks nowadays don't like to sweat, do they? They really don't. They want things easy. Push button. No, there's work that comes with life. And if you let it, it can really bring you a satisfaction that goes much deeper than the temporal things. And the Lord will be right there with you. The Lord loves gardening, and you are His crop. You are the ones that He dotes over, and just, He comes out and admires His work, just like we do in our garden. We come out and see what's growing and what's blooming and producing, and I believe with all my heart that the Lord does that over us, and He's doing that over you. And I just really believe that if you will allow Him to work in you and through you as you face these seasonal changes in your life, it will be a glorious thing for both of you. So, relax, flow with it, enjoy it, and be at peace because God loves you and He's there for you. Bye-bye.